Hello, everybody. Are you ready for tonight? We're going to have some fun. The last several sessions, we've been talking about the missing piece for a lot of people in their business. The only reason you haven't gone director is because you haven't found the right people. And when you're committed and you believe and you're building and you're doing all the right things, it's really a shame that you haven't found the key to finding the right people. And this is the solution. So tonight we're going to bring together and the culmination of everything that we've taught about the valuation approach, residual income, that we have the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and an offer too good to refuse, and how to do the evaluation approach and create a new atmosphere with a senior partner, and how that leads into the no decision close, which leads into the trial run, which eventually leads into the ABC pattern, and that creates the volume and people start earning money. And when one person is led to from another person, from another person, from another person who says, hey, I get it, I want to do it, everybody gets credit for it, and you really got what you want. It doesn't matter who qualifies or who doesn't qualify. You found indirectly or through the people, leading to people, the person that's going to do it, and everybody else can get credit for that. So now they have an option to jump on board and become part of the team and do it with you. And that's what makes it work. So we can't give you everything in one spoonful or one serving. And you're not going to learn this and become good at it just listening to these seminars. You have to go out and do it. And it's experiential learning and actually coaching you through and working with a senior partner that gets you to the point where you're really good at it. Okay, so let's review. The rules and best practices that make it a big difference are really important. And remember how this process works. You can't really separate the things that we do. You start out with a list of 20 to 100 people. You can start out with 20 and then add 100 to 2 a week for 52 weeks. That's 104 over the year. You do it with a senior partner. You master the evaluation method or evaluation approach. We design the approach. We give a good reason why they might know the right people. We're not trying to get them in. We're trying to see if they might know the right people, because why would you want to take anyone on anyway that doesn't know the right people? And then that leads in to them seeing the overview of the plan. You don't necessarily have to go through all 5 steps. You can do that in a follow-up, but they have to choose a 2 to 3 year plan and residual income. Now you have a person with the right mindset, and they have a reason now to have some people evaluate it, and you're going to help them do that and do it with them, because those people are your people. They're a doorway to finding the people that you need to succeed, and in turn they get credit for it. And then that leads into the trial run, and that leads into the ABC pattern. So here's some key things that we want to check on. You always must qualify them. Now, what does that mean? Don't try to get somebody to do the business or have a meeting if they haven't chosen residual income in a 2 to 3 year plan over the 45 year plan. That means that they get it mentally. It's a big step. It's an awakening. So I'm not thinking about getting them in, but who do they know or who can they lead to? That's the key to it. And why would you want to take them on anyway if they don't know the right people or if they can't lead to anyone? You're just wasting your time. So let's find out first if they can play, if they are the right type of person, if they can lead to some people, they'll be cooperative, enthusiastic, and coachable. Because if they are, and we know what to do, they'll always lead to the right people. So why would you ever want to bring someone on that wasn't going to lead to the right people? Now, answer that question in your own mind. It's a critical breakthrough in your own mind. You're trying to get people in quite often, and then it stops right there. Rather than seeing if they can lead to the right people and if they really get excited about residual income and our tracking system, which leads into the 5 steps in MPCP, and we're going somewhere then. So always book a follow-up because they got to see it 3 times. It's just, it's just my prerequisite, but it doesn't need to be a prerequisite. It's just common sense. First time, it creates more questions than it answers. The second time, they're going to see things that they didn't see the first time, and the third time, if they're right for it, fireworks go off in their brain because they see how they could lead to some of the right people, and some of their people may lead to people, and they're going to end up getting a residual income. So that starts to happen in the follow-up. Never do the evaluation technique without booking the follow-up. You might not have gone through the 5 steps, okay? They're not ready anyway. But what you want to talk about now is how we do a trial run and find out if it'll work for them. It's an offer too good to refuse because you know what to do. They don't know what to do. You're tied in right to with the top people that can help make this happen. And if they lead to the right people, they end up with a residual income, which is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that everybody wants. So do you see what I mean by an offer too good to refuse? And that ties right into the concept of getting people to lead to people. So be thankful and relieved when someone doesn't qualify. It's really been exciting to see some of the big leaders that are starting to hit levels really embrace this. And, when somebody isn't going to cooperate and be coachable and if timing isn't right, where they don't want to lead to the right people, they're happy because it frees them up to work with other people that are ready. So you don't have to waste time with them and be led down to a dead end. So understand, not qualifying is for many reasons, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It could be timing. It could be busy. It could be their health. It could be problems. But they're potential customers, and this is where we get our customers. And they're often quick to buy a product in order not to have to do the business even. Laugh out loud, of course. They're not ready, but you see something that they would benefit from or a problem that they have that one of our products is a solution for. So try to discover a problem that they have and a product that'll solve it, and do trial size marketing and get them to use or buy the product. And remember, 50% of the UFOs were customers first. So that's still a win. So there's only one goal. It's always on my mind. Lead me to your people. All I want you to do is test market. Let's give it a trial run. Instead of trying to sign them up and get money out of them and get 200 BV, let's do something that leads to something much bigger. Let's get them to see if it'll work for them by leading to some of the right people and giving it a trial run. And after a month, if they have people that want to buy the product, they want to be customers, and they have people that want to try the business and also do a trial run, there's no decision to make because it's already working. This is the magic. So always get the follow-up or the next step, preferably at their location. Now with Zoom, you don't even have to go anywhere. You just do a text and make sure that you have your senior partner with you, and you book a time, to connect. And you can go through the overview of the plan, go as far as you can. If they start to get edgy or out of time, need to do something else, you can book a follow-up and finish it. But if they chose the 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan and residual income, you now have a reason that makes sense for them to get some people to evaluate it. So then we go into how to do that, how to design the evaluation approach, some of the people that they might know. We try to stimulate their thinking on that. So getting them to show them the digital education and credibility video is a fantastic step because it inoculates them from things that they might hear. You don't want, after them being interested in doing it, to have a bad experience or get some misinformation and be misled. So make sure that you show them that. And then even if it's a one-on-one coffee, a lunch, a drop by, right now it's pretty much just Zoom. We show them how to do the evaluation approach. We talk to them about some of the people that they might know, not necessarily that want to do it, but that might know the right people again. And, we review the MPCP or the UBP online, and then we talk about who they might know that might know the right people. So you don't want them to think that they have to get those people in, but we're going to show it to them because they may or may not be interested, but they may know the right people. So at some point after a meeting or event, and before they register, you want to go over the Getting Started guide, because this starts them on the right track of the result producing activities that are going to get them to the next level. So we go over with their goals. Now, discovering their goals changes the relationship, because you can now show them from the business how they can achieve the goals that they have. It's about them and what they want. So when they see a way that it can actually happen and you break it down, it kind of changes the relationship, because now it's about what they want and we have a plan to actually get there. So when you do this and you get with them to make, to explore who they might know and to tickle their brain and make some suggestions, and they come up with some people that might know the right people, okay, taking that next step and doing that with them, it sets in motion what will carry in motion. This becomes the way the business proliferates. It's not about signing people up. It's about making it work first and finding the right people. Then they want to sign up anyway. So the evaluation approach and trial run results in people leading to people. Now think about it for a minute. Stop right here. Isn't that the one thing that you may have been lacking? So if this changes and you start using this methodology, and people and perpetuity, and it's self-perpetuating, because the way we build always starts out by people leading to people. It becomes self-perpetuating and you can't stop it. And probability starts working on your side, because every person who's leading to somebody or exposing it to somebody in turn is exposing it to some people, until you lead to the people that are ready to do it. So to do this, find someone to do the evaluation method and trial runs with in your existing organization. That's a good way to start. You have a lot of people that never really did this, and you can sit down with them, and they're people that are ready to go to start the process. Or if someone new qualifies and is ready to do the evaluation method, jump on that. It doesn't matter if they're brand new. That's the first step. So, and if you're new, find someone experienced or upline as a senior partner to do it with you. That's the most important thing you can do right now. It's actually your job to find someone who benefits from you succeeding to do this with you. And those of you that have been in for a while, you want to be looking down your organization to find those people. So remember, the difference between success and failure is very simple. The individual who succeeds simply did what the individual who failed did not do. So ask yourself a question. If you're not where you want to be, have you done this? A month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, will you be able to say, I did it? Because if you will be able to say that, you're going to have success. This always works. So find a DIR, a director, a diamond in the rough, or a future director. That's what I call a DIR or DIR. Okay, they're out there. There's people already in your group. If you're a senior partner earning $60,000 a year or more in commissions and residual income, you have enough credibility to be convincing to people, to change the atmosphere for somebody that really wants it, that already has people who will evaluate it. So, I mean, it's really a gold mine. You know, it's kind of like Cromwell's acre of diamonds. Some of you are sitting right on top of acres of diamonds. You don't have to look the world over and go out and do a lot of recruiting and prospecting. You simply need to get some of the people that you have right in your organization that want to do it to start to evaluate it, to do the evaluation approach. So that'll make a big difference. And everybody has 100 contacts. If we go through them at a very reasonable pace, just 2 per week, week after week for 52 weeks, that's 104. You're going to get 8 go nows out of that. And if every single person has 8 go nows that also do the evaluation technique, it becomes an exponential curve. It goes viral, as the saying goes. And you have so many people looking at it that you're going to be in a good position. So look at this. So many people are in this situation where there's a field vice president, a director, and a national supervising coordinator, and they think that everything is set, that it's a cooked leg, you know, quote, cooked leg. What it's really not. There's somebody down there on the right side that is not even qualifying every week. And that causes the national supervising coordinator to have $6,000 a week. But when the executive coordinator does not start making money and it starts to atrophy or slip, okay, all of a sudden that leg is no longer qualifying and the director's business is in jeopardy. And so it has a domino effect all the way up. So we want to look down into our organization and find those people that need to be making six figures to secure your own business, and find the people down underneath them that might be diamonds in the rough, okay, that are ready to do it. Because by working with them, you're not going to have to worry about that leg atrophying. And if you're not making the maximum amount of money already out of that leg, which is what, $2,100 to $3,600 a week, there's still money being left on the table. And here's people that are ready to do it. So let's go down and do a little, you know, diamond mining and find these directors and work with them, doing the evaluation approach, and you're going to see an explosion in the group. It's already happening all across the country in so many different groups. You don't want to miss out on this. So now this brings me, and by the way, if you get a couple of DERs, or if you're new and you find an upline or a senior partner who has credibility, ask them to help you. If they won't help you, then you call me. Okay? But I think that they'll be more than happy to jump on board and help you. But you got to ask, and you got to sit down and plan. And they're not going to do it for you. You have to make the list of people. You got to be willing to make the calls. You got to work with them to design the approach and come up with the reasons why each of those people might know the right people that would make sense to them, and use it in the approach. Then do it with them, because they change the atmosphere. Those people aren't going to fight you. They're not going to give you a hard time when you have somebody else credible that's making money on the phone. So this is where it comes all together. Let's take a look at this. Okay, you have a team of coaches and partners, and it's critically important to team up and to do this with a senior partner or UFO with credibility, because that changes the way people look at it. It makes it easier for you to talk to people to get them to evaluate it. So here you are, and you have a list of people. Start out with 10 to 20 of your top 10 to 20, and then expand it to 100. But they're all going to have different reactions. So many of them are not going to qualify. So many of them are going to be interested, but they don't give referrals. They don't lead to anybody yet, or have a test market yet, but they'll do trial size marketing. Some are qualified. You follow up, they make a list to evaluate, and they're ready to go. And there's others, timing's a factor. They're not qualified yet. They're not ready to go yet, but they'll become a customer and they'll eventually do it. So by doing this, we're going to build a volume base from the people that don't do it. And we're going to grow the business from 2 people out of 10, at least, that do want to do an evaluation approach. Now, they may not be the ones that do it, but they will lead to someone that'll do it. So this is critically important. So getting started guide is an agreement between you and UFOs and the senior partners and the company. It's your deal with the line of leadership. And what it says is the 2 to 3 year plan works and is proven. But in order for it to work for you, you have to be willing to do certain things. And one of the first is to make a list of people to get to evaluate it. We know statistically that the average person knows 100 people that they can do over a year. We don't do it all in 1 week. We start out with 10 to 20, and that'll start the process. Okay, so Phil, Pam, and John are supposed to do this with you as a team. So make sure it's being done that way. You simply outnumber the other people, and when they lead the people, there's enough people to cover the action. So do people you know well, like your friends and family and people from work, accept what you say, or do they question you? Do they challenge you because they know you just too well? Familiarity breeds contempt. That's the case for almost everybody. It's even the case for me. It's the case for Andrew. So having somebody with you, there's an expert from afar that's really has made money and is credible, changes the atmosphere, and they listen, and they're usually willing to evaluate it. And the whole point of evaluating it is to see if they can lead to the right people. If they lead to the right people, it's going to work for them. It's already working. And so now they're in position to get that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the offer too good to refuse, the residual income. I hope you understand that by now. So here we go. Okay, you have the top 10 or 20 list. You see, that's adding people into the funnel, if you will, or into the process. And the mission is to find out who you know and can get to you to lead to them and expose the business to them that'll lead to other people. And see, if they lead to other people, the probability of them doing it and continuing and succeeding and committing is much higher because it's already working. I hope this is making sense. Now, when someone comes into the business this way, and it's done this way with them, I realize it might not have been done that way with you. This is the way we did it in the beginning. This is how the company grew to what it is today. This is what the early pioneers did that led them to make these huge incomes that are residual. And it creates imprinting. And, you know, we talked about it with the chickens, the ducks, the geese. The point is that you really don't need to duplicate anything, because when somebody imprints, it's working and they don't know any other way. See, duplication means you have to teach somebody a process that they didn't do before to do it the same way you did it. But if we bring them into business and it already works this way, and they're leading the people, and the volume starts to flow and they start earning checks, there's really nothing to teach them because we already made it work and they don't know any other way. So they do it the same way and it replicates over and over and over. Does that make sense to you? Because it's a big point. So they have to see it 3 times. They agree to do a trial run. Instead of signing them up, I want to see if they can lead to some people. Let's test it out. And at the end of a month or 2 months, if we have people that want to buy the product and people that are ready to do it, that'll do trial runs and lead to people, it's already working. There's no decision to make. So the list of 10 to 20, then once we do 10 to 20, a list of 100 where we do 2 per week consistently for a year, and we do it with a sponsor and senior partners, is what we imprint. It's the way we do it with each and every person, and we do it as a team. And then they start trying and purchasing products, and they lead to people who will evaluate it and who will also do evaluation approaches. So this is the key. This is how you set up your A level, okay? So we book the follow-up, we provide more information, we get them to use the product, we bring them to the UBP if possible, we now bring them to the group meeting on Zoom each week. We sell tickets to the local, and we show them shop.com and paid to shop, and we work on that evaluation list of people, the referrals, or the people that we can talk to, and we assist them in calls. We do the 3-way calls with them, because the people that they're opening the door for you to are your people. So you don't want them to mess it up. It's much higher probability of it working if you and your senior partner are on the phone with them. So when that happens, and get this, a lot of people get confused about what the A level is. Somebody simply evaluating it, okay, or somebody that you talk to isn't necessarily the A level. We get to the A level after A evaluates it, and agrees to get some people to evaluate it, and they choose a 2 to 3 year plan of residual income over the 45-year plan, and you're going to now make 3-way calls with them. Now you have an A level, okay? And when they produce people, we're going to work as a team to do the same thing with them. And when they start leading the people, or they do the evaluation technique and they do a trial run, they become the B level. So let's take a look at this, okay? The top 10 to 20 list, okay? It's Phil, Pam, John, and you have the top 10 to 20 list. We're looking to find who you know that might lead to the right people. So during this time, as we go through people, you will start using the product. And in addition to that, we'll start developing customers from people that aren't ready to do it, or people that have special needs, or you see they have a problem and you offer them the solution of one of our products. Okay, so then we make a list of 100 possibilities. Once we get through that 10 to 20, we're going to keep doing 2 per week. And again, the mission is to find the right people who will lead the people. Not people who will do it, not people who will sign up, but people who get it, who want residual income, and who will do a trial run and lead the people. So prospecting and developing possibilities can easily result in 2 possibilities cultivated per week. And if you're really serious about it, you can actually go berserk with it, like many people hit director in the first year and do 2 per day. But it takes time to learn how to do that, and how to have the conversation and cultivate possibilities, how to qualify them, how to dance with the themes, okay, and do the mental dance. That all takes a little time and confidence. But that's not necessary to get started with the list of 10 to 20 and your list of 100 acquaintances that are possibilities that may know the right people to do the evaluation technique. And you're going to do it with somebody. I can't emphasize that enough. You're doing it with someone. So that'll start leading, you know, to the right people. Now, all these demos that I've done over the years, and these things that enamor people and they think are funny or crazy, there's a reason for them. This is really about shaking the bean jar, not putting 2 beans in and shaking it and you know, scaring the people off, but filling it and the nuts coming to the top. This is about priming the pump. This is about when we get everybody doing it, you have a avalanche, a constant flow of possibilities over on the right side coming in because everybody's doing this. So probability is working in your favor so strongly that you're always going to lead to someone who's going to be a director, who's going to do it. So I hope that this makes sense, that these demos are this process. And if you're not doing the evaluation technique and then getting people to lead the people, you're missing it. Stop trying to get 2 people to look at it and get them in. Instead, fill the bean jar, fill the funnel by doing the evaluation approach, and each person that you add does the evaluation approach, and get the people that are already in the business that are DIRs to start doing the evaluation approach as part of one of your teams. And everything will change. So this is how we prime the pump. If you want to use these metaphors, if you want to really understand why I do them and what they mean, this is what it means. This is what we do. Okay, so you'll have an unlimited number of people when this starts to catch. When you have people leading to people and people leading to people, it's going to really take off. So they're done in Zoom meetings right now. We can do 3-way calls, 2-on-1s, HPPs, business lunches, interviews, any informal way just to get in front of them, to show them the residual income and 2 to 3 year plan. If they have time and are interested, you can go through the 5 steps, but the key to it is who do they know, and doing a trial run, an offer too good to refuse, and no decision closed simply says, look, you've looked at this, you don't understand it all, don't worry about it. All we need to do is look at it 3 times. The second time, it'll answer questions that You'll see things that you didn't see the first time. The third time, you're going to be thinking, wow, I might be able to lead to some people who will lead to some people who will eventually do this, and it'll mean residual income, and we start that process. So by doing this, we're imprinting. You qualify by seeing the UBP and understanding residual income and consciously selecting the 2 to 3 year plan with the unfranchised over the 45-year plan. That conscious decision qualifies them to do a trial run. It's worth your while. And they're going to be cooperative, coachable, and enthusiastic when that happens. So they see it 3 times, agreeing to do a trial run, then making the list of 10 to 20 to start and to try it out, then 100 after doing the evaluation approach with a sponsor or senior partners. They're having a little success. They'll probably get 2 people that'll lead to other people. Now we can work on the list of 100. And then they start trying and purchasing products and leading to people who will evaluate it. That's what we're imprinting. Now think about it. When that imprints, it becomes automatic because that's the only way they know to do it. That's what it's about. That's how it's done to them. And this starts to multiply. You can't stop the process of leading to the right people. And so we fill the funnel. And in this case, you ended up with Jack and Jill. Jack on the left and Jill on the right that are willing to do this. Now, some of the people who do not qualify will become great customers. Plus, you're using the product. And so you start to do the qualifying volume very easily. And the same thing will happen with them because you did it that way. So the volume starts to build right from the beginning. So you can do the evaluation approach and process first, or the trial size marketing approach first. It doesn't matter. The point is that it's being done with you, with your partner, and you have a team of leaders that are doing this with you. It's a teamwork. You have to have a senior partner do the evaluation approaches with you so that you get good results. And so that there's somebody that has some credibility that's making money so that the people that you know will not give you a hard time. So here we go on the left and the right. They are now, if you see the color squares at the bottom, they now have people evaluating it. Some of them will be ready to do it now. Some of them won't. And will try some product. Others will become customers, okay? And some of them are ready to get started right now, which causes everybody that's been in that referral line of people leading to people to have a reason to do it. Okay, so if you look at this, it's a team effort. Pam, John, you, and Jack come in there for a reason. You are now a senior partner to Jack, but you're also using John and Pam. Why? Because there's going to be more than one person. There's going to be more than 2 people. And we have to be able to cover that and do the follow-ups and get them to do the evaluations. So the same thing on the right with Jill. So we now have Pam, John, and you working with Jill, Pam, John, and you working with Jack. So we do it as a team. And so here's the key points. We, which is you, John, and Pam, teach or help Jack and Jill to make their top 10 to 20 possibilities list and evaluation approaches. So we tickle their brain. We help them think of people. We suggest things. And then we help them design the evaluation approach. It's comfortable for them. And we're going to do it with them so that they don't mess it up. See, remember, the biggest key, the thing that we want is somebody that'll lead us to people, okay? Everybody has a desire for residual income. If they see it and get it, okay, then it's highly likely that they want to give it a try and get some people to evaluate it because it's an offer too good to refuse. And if it works, they're going to end up in a good financial position. So we set the appointments for their people, to have calls done to evaluate it. We show it to them with Jack, Jill, and the team. That's how they learn the plan. They're going to be seeing it over and over again, and we get these people to think of people who may know the right people, and also do a list of 10 to 20. So if you have 2 or 4, you're now that's another 40 people that are looking at it. We then work at a team to show them the overview and the plan and the digital education and credibility videos so that they don't get misled or misinformed or have somebody throw them a curveball. They know what the facts are, and they know that Market America is a very credible company. So that is out of the way. You're not going to lose people by them going online or talking to a friend. So we repeat the same process in the no decision close into the evaluation approach with Jack and Jill's list. We do the same thing that was just done with you as a team. I hope this is making sense. So it's starting to pick up momentum. So let's take a look. What happens next? As we do this with Jack and Jill, they in turn have it's not showing the colors in their prospects. It didn't, obviously it didn't save right, but they also have a group of people that are looking at it. Some that will be ready to do it now. Some will become customers. Some will be ready to do it later. Some will refer people, okay? But now we have numbers working on our side, and you have a team that's doing this with them, and we do the three-way calls and show it with them, and it's starting to pick up momentum, and it's starting to work. They now are your A level, okay? So through the A level, the same process takes place, and they know the people you need to know and lead you to them. Even though they are coming in through Jack and Jill, Sue and Lori and Mike and Bob's people are still your people. And the people that they get to evaluate are still the people that could go to Rector or that will make this work not only for Jack and Jill, but for you. So we want to treat them like they're our own people and help them with the evaluation technique and get people leading to people. Now you have a whole team working with them to get people to lead people to do the evaluation technique and no decision close, doing the follow-up, which moves into the trial run. So this is how imprinting actually starts to happen because it's working and we're all doing it together. So that brings me to the B level now with Sue, Lori, Mike, and Bob. Why are they the B level? Because they have qualified. They've chosen the 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan. They've chosen residual income as what they want. And we're now making a list of people to evaluate it to see if they know the right people. And we're doing it with Sue, Lori, Mike, and Bob, and we have evaluations set up. And the whole team is working with us to do that. Therefore, they are the B level, okay? So you're familiar with these demonstrations of the bean jar, filling the funnel and shaking the bean jar to get the beans. And the power of everybody doing this and leading the people, filling the giant funnel so that probability works in your favor, or priming the pumps. That's what this actually is doing. For some reason, for many people, it was a missing piece. They do everything else right, but they don't get the evaluation technique, turning and no decision close, leading to trial runs that gets people to lead to people, which makes the business work first before they get in or start to work first, okay? Which sets in motion the imprinting of people leading to people so that you always hit pay dirt. I hope this makes sense. So we went through A level and then B level. Sue, Lori, Mike, and Bob were doing exactly the same thing with them. Everybody's getting what I call experiential learning. It's required. It's the process by doing it together where they learn. And when things happen that they don't know how to handle, they learn how to handle them. And they become confident and strong, and we're making it work with them. And as we make it work with them, they start to take on leadership. And you don't have to worry about duplication because it's already duplicated. It's imprinted. They don't know any other way to do it. It's just the way it is. It's the way we do it. It's the way they came in. Okay, so on level B, we find a senior partner to do it with. The best choice is one that benefits by earning money. So that's what you want to look for, or is going to secure that leg for them. You want to change the atmosphere. Why? Because you don't want people resisting or giving you a hard time, and that'll dissolve or evaporate when you have somebody good with you on the phone backing you up. Let's have the top 10 to 20 list and do three-way calls. This is what's imprinting. People that you know, hold you in contempt and are sarcastic, changing the atmosphere and having an expert from afar or somebody that you have the connections with that's successful at this changes all of that. So we design the approach, we get an appealing description, we rehearse it, we practice it, we have a great reason that makes sense to them why they may know the right people and why they should look at it. So by doing that and following the rules and best practices, okay, you are now putting into place a missing piece. So when Sue, Laurie, Mike, and Bob have people evaluated, and we have a UBP or a group Zoom meeting or 2-on-1s and follow-up, three-way calls and book evaluations for them, this becomes the B level, and it's already working for them, and everybody is working together as a team to make it work under them. So we do the same thing with Jack and Jill that was done with you in the evaluation approach process, your partners and teammates, and you help Sue, Laurie, Mike, and Bob with their first list of 10 to 20. We do the three-way calls. It ends up leading to people. That leads to a trial run in their homes, in their locations, or on Zoom with their people, which leads to the UBPs and more 2-on-1s. And now we have momentum of people leading to people, and it's imprinting throughout the organization. It's the only way people know. So we're filling the funnel together through Pam, John, you, and Jill, and Pam, John, you, and Jack. And now they're people, Sue and Laurie and Mike and Bob on the B level. And we do the same thing over again, and it'll lead to the C level under them. So this is actually happening now better than ever with the Zoom thing, because I guess people are a little stir crazy. It's easier to get them to listen. They've had a wake-up call about income and security, and this business offers residual income. It's an alternative to a job where you have a home-based business, okay? And we're giving them an offer too good to refuse. And they're willing to listen right now because they're stuck. They don't have anywhere to go. So we do that ABC pattern with them. Evaluations approach, evaluations overview, three-way calls. Use the text method of confirming the appointment and clearing, the time, and then get your senior partner that's doing this with you to do the Zoom with you, and follow up. And before you know it, the Zoom meeting of 2 to 3 on one evaluations where you have a team of 3, 2 leaders working with you to help get people to evaluate it. That ends up with follow-ups and how to do the evaluation approach for them and for them to get a couple people on, which turns into a trial run, which results in the ABC pattern, okay? Because now the people that are doing it and leading to the next level become the A level, become the B level, become the C level. And then we have the weekly accountability and update. And I'm going to tell you something. It is absolutely amazing, mind-boggling what has been happening. People come together as a group for a meeting and coring at the end of the week. The results that people are getting, the progress that they're making, the pins that they're hitting, the retail sales, the number of people evaluating it, and number of people that are in trial runs, and then the number of people that are being sponsored has just gone viral. It's, going exponential. So that brings it all together. I hope it starts to make sense how the evaluation technique of somebody who qualified, and qualified means that their mind is in residual income in the 2 to 3 year plan. So they want to do it. We have an offer too good to refuse. We can provide that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow through a system, a technology, and a mechanism that's very easy to do, designed for the average person, and we'll do it with them. So if they'll simply try, and and we do it with them, we're going to lead to some people. Then that starts the imprinting of people leading to people. The trial runs become the ABC pattern. The evaluation techniques become the trial runs. The no decision close is critical in seeing it 3 times, because that leads them to starting to try it without any resistance. And when it works, there's nothing to decide. That's how you make it happen. So I hope that this has helped. I want to remind you that there's a lot of other pieces or components or little skill sets that need to be developed to get to this point, and we've gone over them in great depth. The answers to questions, the different scripts to be able to do the evaluation approach, and picking a script that makes sense to you or works for you, and then customizing it and finding a reason that they may know the right people. All this is in there. The questions that they ask, is this MLM, or is it one of those things, or is it selling, you know, or how much money are you making? We've answered all of them. You just need to go to the link and study them. If you're coming in on this session for the first time, you're coming in at the end. You're coming in at the result. And you're not going to know how to get from, you know, one point to the next unless you go back to some of the previous sessions. They're only 45 minutes apiece. I'm on time again tonight. I hope that this is making sense to you. I really need your input. I really need to know what makes sense to you and what your questions are, so that I can help you, you know, become a director. And I really do believe that anybody that does this will, within a year, have residual income. Any leaders that find DERS down in depth, you're going to find that leg being totally secured for the rest of your life. You're going to have people hitting pin levels and hitting 6-figure incomes. How do I know? Because my whole life, this is what I've done. 4 times before Market America, this is a technique that I use, and all 5 ended up with tens of thousands of people and people making money. I know that it works. Okay, those that have done it, those that came before you may have forgotten how it happened, but this is how it happened from day one in Market America, and this is how it can happen for you.